Hello everyone, welcome back. I've brought in this larch forest, and as you see it's starting to get a bit of long growth on the top, which will only just weaken the bottom branches if I don't trim it back. The landscape itself needs good weeding and cleaning out as well, so we'll do a bit of work on this today. Anybody hasn't seen this before, it's planted on a big slab stone that I collected. I found it was actually on the beach, and I chiseled and it split into a nice thin slab, so it was good to get that. It's quite a heavy planting, but it used to have a lot more rock on it. Last time I worked on it, I took a lot of the rock out, which makes it a lot easier to lift. It's more awkward than heavy, but the tree's kind of tall and stuff, it makes it a bit tricky. There's a few little details I'd like to change on it, like back here there's a tree I'd like to try and straighten up. There's just a couple of, even that tree there I could do with being straighter. In fact, all these trees could do with being straighter, so maybe I could lift this side and just put some soil underneath just to kind of straighten them up. We'll see. This tree is supposed to be crooked, it's kind of growing at an angle, so I've got that kind of growing over the stream, and well, what you can see left of the stream. And again, there's a couple of trees back here which could be just a little bit straighter. I don't mind this one being a bit crooked, sticking off the end. But anyway, for now we'll work on pruning back the trees, and then we'll work on the landscape. So I'll see if I can bring you in a bit closer so you can see. It's not going to be easy because the shed is so small, but we'll do what I can. So I'll just lift it up a bit. Okay, so I'll start with maybe this little tree at the front here. You see it's growing quite big now, so I'm just going to prune it back. I'm going to keep this tree quite wide at the front, just because it's like out in the open. So I presume it would grow a little bit wider if it was more out in the open like this than the ones that are tight in the forest. So I'll just prune it back. I'm just looking for buds. I'll just prune it back to them for now. We may come in a bit tighter again afterwards, but we'll see. I decided last night I'd better water my trees. They didn't really need watering, they could have gone another day because I'd given them good watering the day before, but I said I'd give them a good watering again without checking the weather. And typically it rained during the night, and it's been raining all day since, so it's an hour and a half of my life I won't be getting back. But I kind of enjoy watering my trees anyway. It gives me time to look at them, because a lot of time you find you don't actually spend looking at your trees, you just tend to work on them. So I find watering them is the best time to be looking at them. That's when you get to really study them a bit. This one is the apex. Okay, so I think I've got that one trimmed in a bit. Like I said, I'm kind of leaving this one a little bit wider than the rest, just to fill out this area. This tree back here, there's not a lot on it. Down low, and same with this one, so this kind of fills it out a bit. I think this branch here is probably a bit low for this one, so I'll take that off. There's a dead one there. a small tree, this one, so I'm gonna just keep it tight. I'm just gonna prune this branch from this one back. This from the tree behind. It's coming right out the front. We've been having a bit of trouble in this country from larch. I don't know, is it everywhere or what the story is, but some of the guys in the club have been losing trees, large trees, just out of the blue. I lost one myself. I planted one on a dragon, if anybody saw that, and it was doing great, growing really well, and then it just went downhill and I couldn't stop it for some reason. It just kept getting worse and worse, and I don't know what was wrong. I couldn't figure it out. Eventually it just died, but apparently there's something going around which is killing the larch trees. One of the guys in the club was saying that they had to there was a whole forest of trees had to be cut down because they were all dead. All the larch died. And like that, a few of the guys in the clubs had some really nice larch that are just forests and things, that just half the forest just died, and for no apparent reason. They've checked for insects, all that kind of stuff, but there was nothing. They couldn't find anything wrong with it, so it's a bit worrying, but we'll just have to hope and pray I don't get attacked. Whatever it is, it must be some sort of disease that the larch get. I'm not sure what it is. Have to talk to the guys in the club and see what they've come up with. If they've heard any more about it. It's a pretty weak tree, that back one. Seems to know well, all the trees, to be honest. There's a couple of strong ones, but then a lot of them are growing quite thin and weak. I'm not too sure why that is, as long as they're growing. Not dying on me. So I'm kind of, when you look at the, just cut that one off there now. When you look at the branch, you can see the little buds. There's one there, there's one there. So you just decide if you want the branch growing that way, then you just trim it down. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking for the buds and trimming it in the direction I want the next branch to grow. Some of the tops of these need a bit of thinning out, alright. Quite heavy and thick. Needles, quite a few branches. It's all coming off this one branch here. Been out there, so it's thinning out a bit. And I need to try and get this apex to turn a bit. It's kind of growing in that way, so maybe I'll go with this as the new apex. Try and push it back out here. Let's take the tips on that one. Where the light isn't hitting the branches in here, they're not growing at all, barely. funny. Light wasn't hitting that either, but it still managed to grow. This thing in the forests you find. It's hard to keep it so the light hits it all. You can see this one is definitely very weak at the back. Seems to have, dropping leaves, dropping branches. And there's another one back there, the same in a couple of areas. I don't understand why. I know it's not getting as much light as the front, but it's still getting some light. So I'm not too sure why that's going like that. So what I have done is I've got a couple more that I planted. There's cuttings that I've grown from cuttings, and I've planted them in my front garden. And they're growing pretty big and strong now. So if I do lose any in this forest, we can always replace them with them. Always good, especially if you've got a forest, to keep a backup of trees if you can, because you never know when you might lose one or two in there. Someone's definitely struggling. Okay, so I'll just keep working away on them. Even these trees they're not doing too great. Quite thin and wispy. You can see the growth on that. Last year that growth was a lot stronger. It's quite thin. Even the branches that are growing, they're not as strong as they should be. Like, we'll just have to keep going. If I don't trim them, they will just shadow each other out, so you have to keep them trimmed. So I'll just keep going with the trimming for a while, and we'll come back then and check it out. Okay, so I think I'm done with the trees, more or less. I forgot to trim the apex on that one. Another one back there. Yeah, so the next thing I do is work on the landscape, and then I think something, if I was to pick this up slightly, just put a bit of soil under there, maybe back there as well. We can straighten these trees up, and maybe we can have a look at just putting a little bit under there too to straighten them up. But I'll work on the landscape first, give it a bit of a weed in and stuff, and then we'll have a look at doing that. Bring in the camera a little bit closer again. Okay, we'll take out our little bear for now. He's lost in there. I planted this little mini thyme plant in here in a couple of little tiny clumps, and as you can see it's really starting to take over now, so I need to trim that right back as well. I don't mind it, it's nice to have a bit of variation in it rather than just all moss. It's nice to have some little plants and things growing in there. It has like a little purple flower on it, but we don't want it taking over. So I'm just going to work my way around, taking out all this weeds and stuff. No, bin. I've got every type of weed you can think of. Liverwort there. That. Some pearlwort. Ferns and things, I like things that are growing in it. So I might have a look and put more of them in if I have any more kicking around the place. Nice to have around the rocks and things. Just gives it a little bit of natural look. like working on these. These are my favourite types of bonsai projects, these forests and things, landscapes. Gives you another dimension to the trees rather than just the trees themselves. Using an older pair of scissors for this job. I won't be cutting any stones with some good scissors. Always best to keep an old, when you get new scissors, keep your old pair for doing all this kind of groundwork. And it doesn't matter if you're chopping some bits of stones and stuff. Hard to know here which is the difference, where the pearl wheat stuff stops and the time starts. Just working it like that. That little trim back now. I'll just trim that back a bit. Handy thing with it being raining, at least it's nice and wet, the soil now, so it's easy to get the weeds out, the roots and all. Wood sorrel, add to the mix. Actually quite a lot of liverwort on the back of this one. It's the tree that's suffering, so maybe that's what's stopping the moisture getting down into the soil. It's made like a barrier, so we'll take that all off and just hope that helps the moisture get down. Around the base of the trees, and then this time here, as great as it grows and it looks, we don't want it that big, we'll chop it right back, form kind of a bush out of it. Might look a bit brown at the moment, but once it starts growing again. Slug, put it in. One good thing about it smells nice when you're cutting it all. Okay, so I'll keep going with the weeding. Pause the video, I'll weed away, and then we'll come back and have a little look at how we're getting on. Okay, we're starting to get there now. The weeding. There's got a lot of weeds in it. Okay, so now my next decision is whether we lift this up in a bit. Just bring the camera out a bit so we can have a look at it from a distance. Okay, so first do just lift this. We're going to put that piece of stuff. Let's just lift this end up a little bit. I think it just straightens up the tree, so definitely do that. Not sure how easy this is going to be, but get my chopstick and we'll just try and push that under there. Graduate it if we can. Definitely needs a bit more here. Maybe I need less in here and more back here. That looks a bit better. Might have to pack a bit of compost or something underneath there and then to hold it secure. Now this tree here definitely needs straightening up as well. This one back here is kind of leaning, so I'm going to turn it round. See how much that's leaning. I want to try and get that straight. So I'm just trying to get it a bit under here. Bit. That's a bit better. That's not as straight as it could be, but unless I start pulling it apart, it'll probably settle down anyway. Yeah, I'm definitely preferring that. It's a lot straighter than it was. What I might just do compost here is just try and get some of the compost in around the edge just to stop the stones from all spongy soil from all being knocked out. Okay, that looks a bit better. Now, I'm not sure what I can do with this side. Feels like it needs to kind of lean forward more. So this whole thing needs to kind of go like that more. Definitely got them all a lot straighter than they were. Again, just pack that a bit with some compost around the edge just to try and it'll probably settle down itself after a little while anyway. Okay, so next thing now is just put a bit more moss where we can. We've got a great amount of moss. So let's see what we got here. It's really thin stuff. We'll try and put more to the front. What I'll do is where I've packed in around the edge on the compost, I'll just put some moss around it now, just to kind of help hold that in. just now that I've pulled all the weeds out of. Like I say, it's a bit dark the moss at the moment because of how it's soaking. Here, I've lifted it, pack that in, a bit washing out. Same on this side. Here. Moss was all very dry, so I had to sit in trays of water just to rehydrate it. Still quite a few bits of weeds on it. Unless I scrape off the entire top, or spend hours and hours trying to get them all out. Just do a bit at a time. Put a bit of thicker stuff up here on this edge. This tree needs a bit. This stuff kind of looks so thick it looks a bit like a bush. So I'll just put that in there. Make like a bush there. And we'll put one up here as well. You can just trim it back as it grows. Just keep it trimmed. There's another little bit in the back there. Squeeze it out. This moss grows like tiny little ferns. So it's good for very close up there. You can see that. It's like tiny ferns. I like it in the forests. Realistic. I'm going to take out this flat stuff and put some of that fern stuff there. Okay. I think that's not too bad now. We'll just keep checking it. If we need it more somewhere, we'll always add it. Just a little bit back here. Now, what we need to do now is just put in our little stream again. It's kind of getting a bit washed out. Out of it. I'll just give that a new top of sand. We'll use this white sand, I think, for the stream. There's my little scoop. My little scoop. tear this down first. Start us off. Our little riverbed. Just walk that down now. What I call scattered gravel. It's just like little random little stones like that. Come in a little bit closer. And I'll just drop a couple of them if I can around the edges. Here and there. Just go like that. And then some of this coarser stuff then we'll put. Again, just down the edges like that. Trying to make it look like there's some build-up of gravel and stuff at the sides. Okay, so that's our kind of our stream built. Got our little kind of waterfall rock there. There's a couple back there. Okay, so all that's left is a bit of a pass for our bear. We'll put a bit of a pass in. Maybe we'll use the black sand for that, for his pass. Just where it's worn down a bit. Through. Put our little bear back in. Like that. He's happier now, he can see what's going on. He couldn't see a thing earlier. And we have a little bit of stuff hanging down, but that's okay. It looks okay. Like I said, I'll have a little look. I'll go and have a look now, see if there's any ferns. I'm not sure if I have any. Okay, I managed to get to my redwood planting without the dinosaur spotting me, so that was good. So now we just need to figure out where we'll put them. We'll put this little one here, behind this rock here. Guy. We'll just put him on the bank somewhere so it can be spreading around. Just stick him in there for now. Okay, so I think we are done. I'll do a little bit of a show you of it before I put it out on the bench. I'll just give this place a bit of a clean up and we'll come in then and have a look. Okay, so there it is, all finished up. Got our string going through the middle there. Maybe one day I'll curve that string and make it wide or something. Like I said, the trees, no, you always spot one branch you miss. or two in this case. Yeah, like I said, the tree's not growing the best, but they are still growing, so hopefully they're okay. At the moment, this main tree looks like it's sloped a bit far forward now, but I think that's just because I've piled up the side of the back. I think that'll level out slightly, which will bring that one back straighter again. I could always put a piece of wire between the two of them just to bring them together, but we'll see how it goes till it settles down. There's old Bear, he's keeping an eye on everything. Okay, so as always guys, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We're going to leave the apex on this one to keep growing, get that to be stronger and bigger than that one back there. That one's kind of growing quite funny, that one. Very little branching at the top. Okay, so yeah, like I said, like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.